Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Welcome to your daily update and this morning update on Bitcoin. We're going to do a full update on what to expect from today from Bitcoin, but also a little bit about this week and later today. Obviously, it's the morning and what matters a lot, especially on a Monday. And that is usually also the moment when most of the volume comes in, is what will happen during the NYO or when the US session starts. And for that, we have to wait. So far, the volatility index has opened a little bit lower, but has rallied back to the levels where we closed on Friday. Therefore, I would say it's neutral. But this again, I mean, the volatility index usually really starts rallying during the NYO. So we have to wait for that. But ultimately, so far, we've had a little bit of volatility from Bitcoin. We obviously, over the course of the weekend, we pushed into that level right here between 88 and 89,000. That is the key level that we want to reclaim for a bullish structure, right? I mean, 88 and 89,000. If you take a look at the chart, it's this level right here. That's also the area where we were able to find some balance for 2 or 3 days. So that's not really finding balance, but still for some time right here, right? So last week. So if we're able to reclaim that, that's very good news. Do I expect us for now to reclaim that? No. I mean, as you can see, it's a pretty strong resistance level. It's not only an intraday resistance level, which matters, but you also have the 4-hour downtrend there, which we are still technically in a downtrend, and the 7-day rolling VWAP. So it's a very strong level. And over the course of the weekend, I also told you that, rallying into that level is to be expected. That happened, but breaking them off, that's no. And I still think at this point of time, when we're talking about Bitcoin, that it is more likely that we're going to get some sort of a pullback. We have some major imbalances, including a CME gap that we have left since Friday. Right here, I believe around 84,500 and 83,500. And that is then also, in my opinion, the most important level. Now, I did want to talk about something that, technically, I mean, for Bitcoin right now, the situation is actually a little bit boring. I mean, we have a very strong resistance level at 88,000 and 89,000, and we have a relatively strong support level, or at least a crucial support level, around 84,000. We're going to break one of those, but which one of the two is going to break will ultimately depend a lot on the fundamentals. There's quite a lot of fundamental things happening behind the scenes right now, and there's quite a lot of developments, not only when we're talking about geopolitical business, which obviously there's major developments around that, but also some major developments when it comes to monetary policy and cash flow, I think we should say, or at least liquidity worldwide, but especially also in the United States, which obviously matters most for crypto. And we're just waiting for those fundamentals to come to a conclusion. Okay, is there some sort of bullish development, in which case we can get a bullish breakout and some sort of a bottom, or is there bearish development? And that is, again, I told you about this yesterday in my middle of the day market update. If we have repo operations again, if there's an SOFR spread, then we can easily still drop down lower. So it's waiting for that. I do think it's interesting though. I mean, a pattern that we have very often seen in the last couple of weeks for Bitcoin and in the markets is at the weekend we see a little bit of recovery, and again it strikes again, right? We get some recovery over the course of the weekend, and then Monday, Tuesday we see a lot of dumping, and at this point of time that seems likely again, right? We have those imbalances to the downsides, and the volatility index is not necessarily bearish, but I do want to warn for that pattern, in a sense that very often when a pattern like that, so a de-risking of shorts over the course of the weekend, and then continue dumping on Monday and Tuesday, once that pattern becomes widely recognized, usually it's close to ending. Okay, so I wouldn't rely on that too much, and I still think, and I've said this over my last videos as well, when you take a look at Bitcoin right here and the price action we had last week, but also into Friday, I would still say, as long as there's no major bearish escalation for the fundamentals, and that is something I'm working very hard on notifying you as soon as I can, either through a video or on X. So make sure to follow me on there. But unless we get that fundamental escalation, I would say it is most likely that, okay, sure, we'll fill those imbalances to the downside, but that we will be able to find some stability, and that we will ultimately be able to get some more recovery into the 90,000s again. That is still medium term what I expect. I just think short term, we're so dependent on a lot of factors that it just makes no sense to really talk about a breakout yet. But I'll notify you on that as soon as I can. For now, that is what I think you need to know. So thank you for watching. Take care, everybody. Trade safely, and bye.